Chapter 8.
Talos Spaceport at Zeri.
Akana glanced sideways at Luke.
May I?
She asked.
Of course.
Luke said, with an offering gesture, settling back in the pilot's couch.
Talos Spaceport, this is Mud Sloth.
Akana said.
What's your berth price for 20 meters and under?
What currency will you be paying in?
New Republic credits.
She said.
900 for the first 2 days, including landing fees and topping your consumables. 100 a day beyond that. But if you're staying longer than 10 days, we can start you with long-term rates from the 3rd day.
Talos, you must have mistaken me for a rube.
Said Akana.
Because those can't be anything but rube rates.
Those are the published rates, as of the 1st of the month.
The spaceport controller said.
900 to plop and fill, 100 a day for the lockup. I don't have any latitude on that.
Talos, I said 20 meters, not 200.
Said Akana.
And I'm only renting the berth, not buying it. So why don't you start again and this time try not to be insulting?
900 to plop and fill, 100 a day for the lockup.
The controller repeated.
Do you want it or not? There aren't that many spaces available.
Really? I would have thought all your berths would be empty. Seeing as Skrika is landing the little stuff for 600, with 5 days lockup included.
Skrika is run by thieves.
The controller said.
Their lockups have the worst security on the continent.
You'll have to give us a better reason than that not to go there.
Akana said.
After all, you've already tried to rob me.
One moment, Mudsloth.
A yellow light glowed on the comm display.
Watch.
Akana said to Luke.
He'll come back with a better offer and say his supervisor authorized it. But it's all a matter of how much of his margin he's willing to give up to keep us from going to Skrika. Whatever he comes back with, you can be sure it's above the port's internal rates. He'll make sure he gets something out of this.
I didn't think you were so well traveled.
She smiled.
I stayed close to the ports on Karatos and I listened well.
When did you get the quote from Skrika?
Oh, I made it up.
The yellow indicator winked out and was replaced by a green one.
Talos Spaceport. We see this is your first visit here. My supervisor doesn't want to see you taken advantage of by those scoundrels at Skrika. He's authorized a one-time courtesy rate, 500 to land and load up, 75 a day. That's the very best I can do for you, and I'd take it if I were you. Trust me when I tell you, we're not making a credit at those prices. And I don't care where you go. Anyone who asks you for less is going to find some way to get the difference back from you.
Thank your supervisor for me.
Akana said.
We accept.
A good decision.
The controller said.
As soon as you transmit your authorization, we'll put you on the beam.
The indicator turned red, then blacked out completely as Akana turned her head toward Luke.
All yours, dear.
She said, smiling sweetly.
We have a reservation.
Docking Bay A-13 reminded Luke of a smaller version of the Mos Eisley facility in which he first encountered the Millennium Falcon. The design was similar, and the amenities were as old-fashioned. Hand umbilicals, a machine shop without a single tool and die droid, mechanical locks, and no storm cover.
I can't believe I paid them 500 for this.
Akana said with disgust, raising her hands wide.
This berth must be 100 years old. It's been paid for 20 times over.
Discount rates.
Luke said, securing the last of the umbilicals to the Adventurer's 3 propulsion systems.
Can't expect luxury accommodations.
Or to be dealt with honestly. We overpaid by half or more. I hope they enjoyed their little joke.
It doesn't matter,
Luke said.
This will do. Shall we take a look in ship's supplies and see if there's a food pack old enough to fit Mudsloth's reprocessor?
I'll leave that to you.
Akana said, shouldering her bag.
I have to go.
Luke emerged from under the repulsor lift wing of the skiff.
What are you talking about?
I have to do this by myself.
Said Akana.
Why?
If the Falinasi are here, I must approach them alone.
She said.
If I take you with me, they won't let themselves be found. They won't see you as I see you. They'll only see you as an outsider.
Well, what am I supposed to do while you're off by yourself?
You can stay here. I'll come back for you if I find them. You know I will. And I'll come back to you if I don't.
What if I don't want to stay here?
Then do your own exploring in the city. Go where you like. Do whatever pleases you. If you're not here when I return, I'll wait for you.
Akana said.
All I ask is that you not follow me. You'd only hinder our purpose here.
This doesn't feel right to me.
Luke said.
Why can't we go together like we did on Lukaszek and Tyr?
Because I knew that the Circle had left Lukaszek and Norika had left Tyr.
She said.
But I do not know that they have left at Seri.
I didn't realize you were embarrassed to be seen with me.
Luke said wryly.
Please understand, if you leave the docking bay, it will be as Lee Ston. Yes?
Yes.
It's because the others can pierce that illusion just as I did.
Akana said.
If we're seen together, or you follow me, they'll think you're a deceiver, a threat. They'll wait for a chance to approach me when I'm alone. But if you're recognized, I don't know what they will do. They might decide to stay hidden from me, fearing I've been turned. They might even decide to leave at Seri. We can't risk that. I have to go alone.
A deep frown creased Luke's face. Everything she said was perfectly reasonable, but everything she said felt completely wrong.
I don't like the idea of us being separated. Especially here.
Do you still think I need your protection?
She said.
I've been living around this kind of petty evil for most of my life. I know them. Street bangers, body slavers, drug dealers, turf warriors, blackmailers, and the cold eyes who just enjoy making someone scream. I got caught a few times and hurt a few times, but I learned. I got stronger, I got smarter, and I became my own protector. I'll be fine, Luke.
All right.
Luke said, reluctantly surrendering.
But I should at least know where you're going. In case you don't come back. In case you run into something you're not expecting. Something not so petty.
That's fair,
She nodded.
but give me enough time to do what I need to. Promise that you won't come looking for me until... Let's say until I've been gone 3 days with no word.
Luke shot her a disbelieving look.
3 days? That's long enough for someone to grab you and be halfway to the Tian hegemony.
She laughed.
The last man who tried to grab me only wanted to take me as far as the alley.
She said.
3 minutes later, he knew he'd made a mistake.
All right,
He said.
but I still don't understand why you need 3 days.
I shouldn't.
Akana said.
That's why you should come look for me then. I'm going to the Pembelhof district north of the park.
That's all you're going to tell me?
That's all I can tell you.
Akana said.
Goodbye, Luke. I'll be back for you as soon as I can.
After Akana left, Luke first took some time to explore behind all the doors of the docking bay. The public showers and refresher were overdue for a cleaning, no doubt due to the 50-credit cleaning fee. But the prospect of a real 6-head unlimited water spacer's shower was too appealing to resist. Luke vouched for the additional charge and secured the door so that the automated scrub down and sterilization could begin. Luke tried to get even on the day, rummaging through the lockers of ship's supplies. To his surprise, there were 2 K-18 food packs, both out of date, but not too badly so. He installed the older of the 2 in the skiff's reprocessor and tested it, then found stowage for the other in the crowded belly bay. The portmaster would nick his account again for returning only one empty, but not enough to dissuade him. When scavenging paled, Luke turned to tinkering. The control systems terminal offered an extensive list of flight system upgrades, with a data card burner right beside it. Most of the skiff's flight systems were out of date, but Luke located half a dozen aftermarket upgrades and coaxed Mudsloth into taking them. All of them came up virus-free, something he hadn't expected considering the source. But the navigation upgrade spotted Luke's handiwork on the FCZ interlock, forcing him to restore the original, blissfully unaware package. In time, Luke had done all the tinkering he could without risking having something crucial arrayed in pieces on the bench or the bay floor at an awkward moment. He then took advantage of the open space inside the bay to work his first complete set of Jedi training drills since leaving Coruscant. Working both with and without his lightsaber, he patiently went through the complex exercises which brought him to a profound state of restful clarity. It was in this state that he felt most keenly the truth and the wisdom of the simple words,
There is no emotion. There is peace. There is no ignorance. There is knowledge. There is no passion. There is serenity. There is no death. There is the Force.
The peace, the knowledge, and the serenity were gifts that came with his surrender to the Force, and with his connection through the Force to all that was. Sustaining that clarity was always the challenge. In the isolation of a Dagobah, the Jundland wastes, or a hermitage on a frozen shore, an experienced Jedi could preserve that inner state indefinitely. But the chaos of the real world was another matter. When ego returned, so did will. The surrender became tainted, the connection flawed. The clarity gradually slipped away under the continuous assault of elementary drives and passions. Even the greatest of the masters needed to perform the practice regularly, lest they lose the discipline that made them what they were. The drills were as much a test for the body as for the mind, and the docking bay's newly sanitized shower brought a blissful peace to muscles that were telling Luke they had not been properly exercised in too long. He stood for a long time in the place where the 6 needle jets converged, letting the water flowing down his body become another meditation. When Luke finally emerged from the shower and once again donned his clothes, he allowed himself to check the skiff's chronometer and see how long Akana had been gone. Barely 6 hours had passed. Standing beside the skiff's bow, Luke looked around the bay. Inexplicably, it seemed much smaller when viewed through the prospect of spending the next several days there. Donning his hooded cloak, Luke secured the skiff, locked the docking bay, bending a pin so that only he could unlock it again, and went out into the night. As he looked out across the spaceport and at the lights of Talos beyond, his hand, out of habit, went to the place at his hip where his lightsaber usually hung. His fingers found only air, which puzzled him for just an instant. Then he drew the face of Lee Stan down over his own and walked on. It was a much-remarked irony that very little was free on a free trader world. Walking and breathing were among the few activities without a price tag, though some said that was only because the Traders Coalition hadn't figured out how to deny those amenities to those who wouldn't pay. But there was a 20-credit service fee to enter Talos, which crowded up against the spaceport boundary in classic free trader fashion. Virtually anything could be bought on Otzeri, and no small part of the catalog could be had within 500 meters of Talos Spaceport's 3 entrances. Every major trader in the city had at least one of the kiosk-sized satellite storefronts that crowded along the broad boulevards leading to the cabs and hire shops along the flyway ramp. The narrow little stores were aggressively gaudy and loud. Multi-story display panels above their doorways graphically hawked their wares, while door barkers made promises and entreaties shoppers were well advised to ignore. Every shop along the boulevard was willing to refund service fees and provide express transport to the sponsor's main location. Some sent small armies of droids out to stand outside competitors' doorsteps with even sweeter offerings. The entire purpose of Traders Plaza was to snap up as many newly arrived greens as possible. Once they were safely away from competitors, they could be worked at leisure or steered to other members of a trading alliance, a scratchback in Otzeri argot. The scratchback networks were elaborate. There was nothing a free trader hated more than having a willing buyer and seeing a competitor get the sale. Luke surveyed the offerings in Traders Plaza with a mixture of wonder and horror. The last time he had been on a free trader world, it had been to try to buy weapons for the rebellion, and there had been no time for browsing the commercial districts. Few of the offerings in the plaza had any appeal to him now, but his curiosity went beyond the personal. Information brokers offered religious, political, and technical secrets. The forbidden vices of 10,000 worlds were available openly and without shame. Traders who called themselves facilitators arranged personal experiences. Embargoed technologies were readily available alongside unlicensed copies of commercial products. Librarians sold entertainments in every known medium without respect to content or copyright. Though Luke had prepared himself to resist the blandishments of the sellers on Traders Plaza, his resistance was broken down by one unexpected offering on the display board of the Galactic Archives. He accepted a credit tab from the barker outside, then stepped into the tiny storefront.
Welcome! Welcome to the Galactic Archives, your one-stop source for everything that's worth knowing,
said the hook, greeting him with a broad, oily smile.
Whatever you want, we have, or we'll get it for you, free of charge. What did you say your name was?
Lee Stone.
Lee Stone, walking through that door is going to be one of the best decisions you ever made. When you leave us, you're going to leave satisfied. But you're not going to want to leave because we have everything. Did you see something particular that you were interested in? Don't be shy about asking.
Luke pointed upward.
You had an ad up just a few moments ago. Something about the lost secrets of the Jedi.
Oh, excellent choice. A real find. We just added that to our catalog, and it's already a bestseller. Absolutely authentic material. Answers all the questions we all have about the secret masters of the galaxy.
The hook pressed a bright blue tab, the same size and shape as the credit tab, into Luke's hand.
For security reasons, all our sensitive documents are available only at our Central Archives location. Just give these tabs to any trading agent when you arrive. Would you like a courtesy cab?
Dual display screens in the back of the cab subjected Luke to a concentrated dose of Galactic Archives advertising. Advertising that seemed to be tailored to the request he had made at the satellite shop. The offerings included Emperor Palpatine's Principles of Power, a private publication for Imperial Moffs, the Sith Book of Offerings and Rituals, the Hakig Book of Laws, and the Secrets of Forming Bylar-type Clacka group mines, among others, with a special discount if Luke took any 3 or more. Most of the documents were undoubtedly frauds, and none tempted Luke beyond idle curiosity over the skillfulness of the fraud. When Luke reached the trader's central site, negotiating the price of his purchase required most of an hour. 2 attempts to leave empty-handed and a promise to bring a friend back to the Galactic Archives with him. The final agreement brought the price down from 2,000 credits for the Jedi file to 900 for the file and a pocket datapad. By then, night had settled solidly over Talos, and the bustle of activity had shifted away from the Commerce District, leaving the flyways and walks there nearly empty. Luke walked west, drawn by a bright night glow in the sky. Twice he was approached from the shadows, but the weak minds of his would-be attackers were easily influenced by a simple projection of doubt, and they retreated to await easier prey. The night glow came from the lights of a sprawling and boisterous entertainment district, the Revels. He could hear that it was well named long before he reached the district boundary and paid the general admission. The walks were jostling full with visitors bent on pleasure, and the air was full of loud voices, laughter, and the music escaping from dozens of rec centers, casinos, and club bars. Li Stan wandered the Revels looking for a place to sit undisturbed and read about the secrets of the Jedi power. Luke Skywalker wandered the Revels listening, watching, and trying to understand what drew so many and stirred in them such a desperately fevered energy. With the effects of his exercises lingering, the pleasures offered on the banner displays of the clubs and rec centers seemed shallow and uninviting.
Be a pirate for a night at Tauntaun territory. Play Point 5 where it was invented. New games every 5 minutes. 90% payoffs. Near-death experiences. Walk right to the edge with our master tortures and million-credit insurance. Melee. Any weapon, any target. The ultimate personal combat simulator. The daughters of the Empath Princess know exactly what you need. Raina Shop Ball, now with Ultra Charge.
Li Stan was no more interested than Luke. But there were no places to sit outdoors, not even a half wall or a ledge, and no peace from the crowd or the hookmen. The managers of the Revels had cannily decided that if a visitor needed a rest, it should be somewhere indoors, where the average seat turned 100 credits an hour in drinks, food, and services. Facing that prospect, Luke decided to leave the Revels and return to the docking. It was possible that Akana had already returned, and if she had not, he would at least have quiet for his reading. But making his way to the outgate, Luke turned a corner and was taken aback by the brilliantly lit exterior of a club bar called Jabba's Throne Room.
Performing nightly, the original Max Rebo Band,
said the scroll.
Visit Jabba's guest quarters with a pleasure slave. Face the mighty Rancor in the pit of death.
Driven by an outraged curiosity, Luke joined the line and paid the membership charge without haggling. Inside, he descended a curving flight of stairs into a remarkably faithful copy of the throne room in Jabba's desert palace on Tatooine. Some of the dimensions had been stretched to accommodate more tables in front of the bandstand and around the Rancor pit, but the architecture and atmosphere were authentic.
Why, it's just like the Palace Museum.
Li Stan said to the tall and elegantly dressed Twi'lek barring the way at the bottom of the stairs.
I'm afraid my master Jabba is away on business,
said the Bib Fortuna look-alike, nodding toward the empty dais.
But I'm having a little party in his absence, and I hope you'll enjoy yourself.
His head-tails stirred in signal, and one of the scantily clad dancing girls hurried to him.
Yes, Lord Fortuna,
the server said.
Una, this is a friend of mine,
said the majordomo.
Treat him well. Find him a seat at my best table.
The same fiction was carried through everywhere else. An Ortolan keyboardist leading a Jizz Whaler trio on the bandstand. The roaring of the Rancor underfoot. An annoying Kowakian monkey lizard skittering around the room, stealing food and cackling rudely. Even a carbon-frozen Han Solo hanging in the display alcove. But a busy kitchen was concealed down the corridor to the servants' quarters, and the price card Ula left for him included various services available upstairs in the guest quarters and downstairs in Jabba's dungeon. It was tasteless and exploitative, but the music was surprisingly agreeable, the roast nerf was tantalizing, and the clientele was markedly more subdued than their counterparts out on the walks. Li Stan ordered a drink, and the executioner's cut of Nerf, refused all other offers with a polite smile, and settled in to discover the truth quotient of the secrets of the Jedi. Shortly after his meal arrived, Luke's consciousness was pricked by hearing a familiar name spoken at a nearby table. Leia's. He looked up, fearing that the evening's entertainment at Jabba's throne room would be a dance by a slave girl Leia look-alike, but the band was on a break and the transparasteel dance platform over the Rancor pit deserted. Luke extended his awareness, seeking the voice and the conversation that had intruded.
This'll lead to war.
The woman was saying.
And bravo for that. The Republic has every right to slap the Yavetha down for what they've done.
That's nonsense.
Her companion, a slender Lofren, retorted.
It's like going into someone else's home to break up an argument. Completely inappropriate.
We're not talking about an argument. We're talking about murder.
It's still their business, not ours.
You can't just let them get away with murder.
What does it matter to us what anyone does outside our borders? If we try to police the whole galaxy, we'll always be at war. Organa Solo should just grow up and accept that the universe is an imperfect place.
That's awfully cold,
the woman said.
It sounds like if you heard me screaming next door, you'd just complain about having your sleep disturbed.
We're all responsible for protecting ourselves, and no one else,
the Lofren said, shrugging.
We have no business going into Farlax to pick a fight over someone else's business. If a single fleet pilot dies there, the princess should be put on trial for murder and treason.
That brought a chilly end to the conversation. The woman left the club alone. Shortly after, the Lofren disappeared up the stairs leading to the guest quarters. Luke returned his attention to his meal. But when Ula came by with an unordered second drink, Li Stan asked if it would be possible to get a news record on the troubles in Farlax. She smiled as though he had asked a foolish question, and returned with it before the last bite of Nerf disappeared. The price of that convenience was added to his bill as a stiff service charge, along with the cost of the drink. Shortly after, a holographic Jabba made an appearance on the dais above the main floor. That signaled the start of an elaborately scripted show that promised to involve not only Bib Fortuna and the dancers, but additional actors and the audience as well. Luke took that as his cue to leave. His decision was affirmed when, climbing up the curving stairs to the street, he encountered the bounty hunter, Bausch, coming down them with an unconvincing Chewbacca in tow.
Aren't you a little short for a Wookiee?
He muttered under his breath as they passed. When Luke reached the docking bay, the door was still locked, the skiff was still secure, and Akana was still away. Nor was there any sign she had returned and left again. Checking the chronometers, he found that she had been gone more than 16 hours.
Where are you?
He thought.
What are you doing so long out there? You have so little money and asked me for none, and that's all this place respects.
But Luke resisted the impulse to collect his lightsaber and head off in the direction of the Pemblehoff district. Climbing up to the Mudsloth's flight deck, he settled in the flight couch with his reader and 2 expensive datacards. As the balance of the night slowly ground by, he diverted himself with absurdities about the Jedi and the troubling news about what sounded like a coming war, hoping that wherever they were at that moment, neither Akana nor Leia needed his help more than she needed him to stay away. Akana stood before the housing block known as Atrium 41 and viewed it with dismay. Even in the forgiving early morning light, the 15-level tower looked like a home for people who had made a habit of leaving everything they had in the casinos. Every other letter was missing from the unlit sign, and the entry arch's security doors were propped open with metal bars. There was an unpleasant smell in the air that seemed to arise from the sun shining on the stone. Akana's journey to reach this point had taken her through dozens of shabby clubs, shops, and night spots in the second-tier outer districts of Talus. The optimistically named New Marketplace, the tawdry flesh auction that was Pemblehall, the rough-tempered Demon's Lair. She had bought and traded information as she could, walked long distances on now aching feet, fended off 3 attacks and at least 20 propositions without drawing blood, and been granted an unexpected measure of compassion by a street captain, who gave her a sheltered place to rest without expecting anything in return. Now she stood before her objective, brushing a streak of alley grime from the sleeve of her dar cloak and trying to fight off disappointment. She found herself hoping that her last informant had lied to her. It would be better to be played for a fool than to have to accept this as the truth. It was that hope, as much as anything, that finally moved her forward through the entrance arch. The tower's atrium was barely deserving of the name. Just 4 meters across and 10 meters long, it was more truly an open stairwell with a skylight at the top. Metal great balconies with bent and broken railings circled the atrium on each level, linked up and down with companionways at the narrow end. Triangular doors aping the gratings led to each level's 4 apartments. Akana made her way to the 3rd level unmolested. But there her way was blocked by a gray-furred Gotal, wearing a black Imperial Navy officer's tunic with a blaster hole scorched through it and a vibroblade slung in a smuggler-style hip belt.
Nice trophy,
Akana said.
Vice Admiral, isn't it? Did you take him yourself?
The Gotal answered with a wordless growl.
What's your business?
Does Jorab Goss live here?
Who asks?
I am Akana.
Who sends you here?
I am here on my own, on business of my own, in search of Jorab Goss.
Master Jorab owns all of this, and by his graciousness allows his friends and servants the comforts of his domain. Are you to be one of his girls?
Yes,
Akana said.
I am.
You're early,
The Gotal said.
Don't be disturbing the master. Wait in the playroom for the others.
I'm not part of the morning auditions,
Akana said, growing impatient. She washed the current gently across the Gotal's sensitive head cone receptors, hoping to make him more pliant.
Take me to him, please.
When the master rises, I will tell him that the woman Akana comes asking after him on business of her own,
said the god.
He will decide what meaning that has to him.
The Gotal pointed at a door 1 level up on the opposite side.
Wait there.
Jorab Goss had the swagger of petty self-importance and the presence of someone who believed he was the power in the room. Tall and trim, with pale blue eyes in a lined but otherwise unmarked face, Jorab was handsome despite his age. His long, thick silver hair was swept back to a vertical comb and hung to the small of his back. But his mock flight suit was gaudy and cheap, his black boots buffed to an unlikely shine. His smile had the same false cast, and those alert blue eyes appraised Akana familiarly before meeting her gaze.
So, you are my visitor,
Jorab said.
No,
Akana said, holding herself erect.
I'm your daughter.
Jorab's eyes widened, but he said nothing at first. Clasping one wrist behind his back, he circled her slowly.
My daughter,
he repeated.
Who is your mother?
My mother was Isela Talsava Norand.
Akana said.
She's dead now.
Completing his circuit, Jorab stopped, facing Akana, and leaned in toward her.
I don't know this name,
he said.
What is it you want, daughter of Isela?
That you not lie to me,
Akana said.
You knew my mother well. Let me remind you when. You met her on Pradaw. came to live with her on Gavin's, where she had a house in Torless, the house in which I was born. You moved with us to Lukaszek, and within the year, you left us there.
You speak of things older than my memories.
Jorab said.
How am I to know the truth of them?
What do you mean?
Akana said, a sudden flare of anger in her eyes and her tone.
I was the child, not you. I'm the one who had to learn about you in a story told by my mother.
I have not heard this story,
said Jorab.
Perhaps you will tell it to me.
I came so far to find you,
she said in a small voice.
How can you be so cold to me?
You are not unattractive. And perhaps there is something about your eyes I find familiar,
Jorab said.
But, you see, I have developed a fondness for Rokna Blue.
His tone was sorrowfully apologetic.
Do you know it?
It's a deadly poison,
Akana said.
From a tree fungus that grows on Endor.
Jorab brought one hand forward and waggled a finger at her.
Yes, that's right. Endor. I had forgotten. But you see, Rokna Blue is not so deadly as some think. The smallest amount brings an exquisite state of bliss. It magnifies all other pleasures for hours. Indescribable. You must try it to know. I would be happy to stand you to your first...
No, thank you,
Akana said curtly.
What does this have to do with your memory?
Jorab looked momentarily lost.
What? Ah, yes. I was saying, in the proper doses, the microgram and no more, the blue is not deadly. But it still does demand a price for its blessings.
A price?
Jorab touched his temple with 2 fingers of his left hand.
My memories do not go back even as much as a year. Everything is new to me. No, do not pity me. I have chosen to live in a vivid present rather than hold on to what is now the forgotten past.
Akana wore her horror openly.
How could you make such a choice?
A smile spread slowly across Jorab's face.
Bliss beyond imagining,
he said.
I could show you.
No,
she said firmly. Jorab shrugged.
I find your choice as puzzling as you find mine. Do you have memories worth treasuring? It seems I did not.
I would have treasured them,
she said, and tears ran freely from her eyes.
I came here to find my father. What am I to do now?
You can stay if you like,
he offered.
There are rooms open on the upper levels. Or at least, I think there still are. Trask will know for certain. But I'm afraid I will never be able to add anything to the story your mother told you. You may be my daughter, as you say,
Jorab said, then shook his head regretfully.
But I am not your father.